welcome. It's the Autumn Compendium, that time of year again.
It's that time of year again, but it wasn't that time of year last year. Pretty much it's the beginning, it's the dawn of a new age.
It certainly is, yeah.
The autumn is like the fall, and what we were asking for the writers to do was to actually approach the idea of autumn, right? And to come up with these ideas that came to them. But a lot of them just said, okay, autumn. All right.
Let's do autumn.
Yeah, I have autumn leaves. I have autumn. I have autumn in New York. So, I mean, we have an interesting selection for this compendium that we're going through tonight and everything. So I'm Chase Johnson Lynch, just in case you don't know me. And I'm joined by Sharon Copeman. Hello, Sharon.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Sharon is drinking. So let's all kind of take bets on to when she starts going,
Yeah, I don't drink very much, so it could be very quick.
Yeah, well, see, I was thinking that too. You know, if I took a drink, because I haven't had a drink in 6 months, and then everything, I'd be like Kevin Smith when he does his podcast, and I'd be like, what? What's next? But but yeah. So either way, it's exciting times. It's an exciting day. I don't want to get political, but It's the dawn of a new age. I had said it. I said it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So anyway, autumn, right? So our first selection tonight is not by a new writer. He's a good old friend of mine, but he's a fantastic writer.
Yeah, he's new to the compendium, isn't he?
Yeah. This is his first pitch into the compendium. Matt Shield, who said, "Look, I'm gonna take autumn, and then I'm gonna talk about kind of the autumn years of life." So, with this, really, I won't say heart wrenching, because if you don't cry, then I'll be upset. But
we'll be around to your house.
Yeah, exactly. But we chose one of our good players, Wings to a Cold, to reflect on autumn, and well, let's just show this film, yeah. So let's go through it, right there.
Let's go for it.
All right. So this is Autumn by Matt Shield, starring Wings to a Cold.
The biggest mistake was falling in love with you. I was young, I was lonely. I was happy, but most of all, I just wanted to be loved and return that love. And I met you. Everything I hoped for, I found in you, and everything was perfect. Everything was how I imagined. All my dreams were fulfilled. I was happy. That dark brown hair, those sparkling eyes. That smile that both promised reassurance and illuminated the most perfectly sculptured face. And I was worried that I was not the same for you. Did I make you happy? Did I give you that giddyish feeling when you thought about me, and what I would be doing now? Would this last forever? God, I hope so. Would this last for the rest of our lives? I couldn't imagine a day now without you. And you loved me. You loved me in the same way and as deeply as I loved you. Everything was perfect. Perfect and passionate. Perfect and priceless. Perfect and peaceful. We settled down and bought our first house. It was our own, in fact. We never finished decorating it. It was the fourth bridge of homes. We never really got the garden right either, come to think of it. Every spring we'd redesign the house. Every summer, sort out the garden, almost. It's just the way we wanted it. Every autumn we watched the mist and the fogs hide away the decking, garden furniture. Hide away the shrunken sunflowers for another year. The winter always came last. We both never looked forward to it. The end of all things. The romance never waned. Its initial spring became our burning summer. Those summers would never end. The laughter never outstayed its welcome, and we were a happy breed. Now autumn is here again. Yellow leaves falling like your hair in the early morning light. Autumn robs the leaves on the trees and lays bare the thin, twisted bones beneath it. And I sit here now, holding your hand, watching those veins protrude from your withered arms. I brush back your hair and look once more for that spark in your eyes. You look back but see no one. The time's gone so quickly now autumn sets out its stall. Its mists and fog reclaim your mind, steals your memories. The past is now a fog to me too. It's the moment right now that's most important. It is me that's holding your hand. It's me reassuring you. It will all be all right. It will all be all right. It will all be all right. It's autumn and it will never end. It's autumn for us both. I can't recall the red carpet when we first moved in. Because kitchen was all row. You remember every detail. Everything except who the Prime Minister is. Or is it now spring or only autumn? You see in my eyes the loss I see in front of me and smile. That smile of reassurance. But you hold back that special look. That smile you kept for your soulmate. You do not see is looking back at you. Autumn takes a heavy price. It takes, takes, and takes. It's taking you from me completely now. Crowded church. The drinks and banter have been replaced. The sound turning in your door. And the clunk of bottles as I put the shopping down on the table. Silence fills the home we never finished. The decking and the sunflowers sit patiently outside. I sit down as I survey our empty place, this once happy home. This couch too big for one now. I couldn't imagine a day without you. Spring will soon be here though. First, the winter always comes. We both never looked forward to it. It's the end of all things.
All right. Listen,
Oh.
that was a tearjerker for me. I mean, Wayne's really crying. Now, I got to tell you a little secret there, because, like, how we try to film these, give them a little bit different feel to them. It's like he's actually like as he's talking about his wife, you know, kind of like passing on into the autumn years of her life. He's actually looking right directly at his own wife while he has to perform the
Oh,
piece. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like, good on you there, Wayne Stewart Cole, and as
I
well as
know.
to Matt Shill.
He's normally such a jolly bloke, so that was quite hard for me to watch because he's normally the one that's cheering me up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, so we're off to a good start there. Now, this one is another. It's a double newbie, isn't it, Sharon?
It's double newbie, yeah.
Meaning, like, so tell us a little bit about what Kelly, who wrote this.
Tony Kelly, he's recently joined the Writers Drop-In. He's also a member of Laid Back Writers that tend to focus on novels and things like that more. So he wanted to learn how to write plays and monologues. So he came to us, and he's really hit the ground running. And I'm so pleased that he's entered something for the compendium so early on, because it's nice to to get that acceptance. And this is quite a nice little monologue that he's written.
Yeah, and like the thing about it was, I mean, like, it's like called Photograph, and it was about like photograph, and I remember you were saying to me like, he wanted like the photograph to come to life and stuff like that, and it was kind of like, no. I mean,
do that.
The monologues, right? So we had to kind of like figure out ways to create what it is that you're looking to do, and so obviously, like it's about someone in their class and their past talking to you. So I won't spoil it, but I'm hoping that he enjoys what we did. So what we did was we had to look around for actors for this piece, and we actually came up with another newbie, right? So that was Trevor Carpenter Jones.
Yes, that's right.
Right, and so this is like his first. Well, I was gonna say that, Sharon, but that's spoiling things. Anyway, so Trevor Carpenter Jones is another newbie to the compendium. So like in this is that we took a different take on Kelly's photograph. So I think it's time to just show this and everything, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So
sure.
Yep. So there we go. All right. So pass it on, Blake.
Right, so on again. Who is there this time? Must be so many people here. There must be a couple of people who can hear me. Maybe even see me. Can you see me? What do you see? I must set the record straight. I can't sit still until I know that you know as much as I do about what shaped me. Are you curious? Thinking, who the hell is that anyway? Anyone of merit? Notoriety? Yeah, I asked you. What do you see? That's right. I know I don't look much. Some old guy staring back, not blinking, not moving a muscle, not even a shimmer or a twitch. It's not how I really am. I'm very much more animated in here. In here I can still feel the pain, the hurt, the anger. Don't get me started on the anger, there's plenty of time for that later. Let's stay with the feelings, the ones that shape me to be the person I am today. Let's get off the shelf and take a wander back to the start of it all and what I can remember of it. Look, here we are, playing in the street. Just a group of grubby, normal kids. Not a care in the world, despite not having enough to eat someday. Every day was much like the next one. Dirty, mostly. Grubby at best. But we were happy in the main. Here. That one there, that's me. One with the dark curly hair.
and the flashing blue eyes. See that one? That's me running after my brother. Look at me, slapping my leg like I'm the Lone Ranger chasing after the bad guy, catching him, and then after the statutory time of the headlock of justice, letting him go to join the gang of horseback kids ready for the next chase. I loved to feel that, the air rushing past my face as I was running as fast as my legs could carry me. Oh, what a great sensation that was. Yeah, you know what's coming next. Yeah. The whole fucking world come crashing down on me. And not just once, lots and lots of fucking times. But that first time, well, that was the worst. Or was it? Yeah, we're at the point where I learnt my first big word. And a belter of a big word it was. Poliomyelitis. Oh yeah, that's it. You don't hear much of it now. But before the anger came the pain, the shock, and the humiliation. I needed hospital treatment. That wasn't just me. There was loads of us. All our beds laid out in a herringbone fashion, just so the nurses could get in between us. After the paralysis, and months of laying on my back, seeing the world in the mirror above my head, came the good news. I was going to be fitted with a walking aid. Calipers. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I was made up to get out of the box and sit upright. I couldn't wait to start walking again. That was hard. But I, like the other survivor kids, learned to get the hang of walking with leg on. Great days, huh? It really was a great day, though, from that front. But in the meantime, with the stress of everything and the economic times, the house came crashing down. Now, our house wasn't a home for a long, long time. Certainly not after she left. No. That was more painful than being in love. That was the first time that murder came to me. When I got big, I would kill him. Back to a light of aim. Despite the hardships we all had then, we did have some good times. It was about that time that I learned that I had the gift of the gab. I could make people smile. The bigger kids, though, and some of the smaller kids, they started to call me names. Mr. Callums and the swaying gait that they used. But I soon learned to sort them out. I couldn't run after them. But once I grabbed them, I punched that lesson into their head. Not to fuck with me. Every one of those Autumn Cassidy name callers got it in there. My character was being shaped into two parts. The charming, funny side, and the darker, resentful, angrier me that floated just below the surface. The worst bullies came last. I needed someone else to equalise the game on the playing field. I learned to walk on my hands, do handstands, and walk around like they do in the circus. I got so good that I could walk up the tenement block concrete steps all the way up to ours and back down again. You can't see it from there, but I drew massive arms and a back chest. Hey, what about hats? Hats! They were the biz. Everyone wore them. Flat caps for manual labourers, trilbies for Sundays and holidays, and spiffs and show-offs. Well, they wore fedoras. Big, wide-brimmed statement hats. War on a Tilt, straight out of the cinema. Yeah, you know what sort of. No job, hardly any money coming in. I realised that I had to do something to supplement family income. But what? Those days, we lived along a line, buying something off the back of the wagon. I had the great idea to cut out the middleman and the wagon, and I bought myself a hand cart. I was becoming someone other than just the cheeky kid with a limp. Soon, hungry days were over in our house. But then bullies that I mentioned before started to come round again. And this time they were bigger and meaner than they were. Now, some I could smooth talk into backing off, but most of them needed something more than that. I'd learned that bullies hate being stood up to, even by kids with a limp. That anger that had been fermented inside me all that time, being in the love, my mother leaving us, the frustration of not being the same as everybody else, all the name calling and sniggering, all became focused on any bully that crossed me. As I said, I needed more than my gift of the gab, so I got an equalizer, a piece of iron pipe. I called it my headache stick. It fit snugly in the trouser pocket, and it would come out before anyone would say, "Hey, you!" Reputation come next. "You know him?" they'd say. "The really smart, good-looking charmer from Islington, the one with the big hat, the limp, and the really bad temper." I can see that you're getting a bit bored with all of this now, so I'll cut some of this out, like prison, selling a building that I didn't own, and even saving a couple of lads from the fire. And I'll tell you why I'm here tonight, like this. Not defined as just the product of a broken home, who had a hard hand dealt by the croupier of life and grew into a bad-tempered, angry man who'd never really told his story before turning into a photograph on the shelf.
All right.
Okay, he turned into a photo. He turned back into a photo. He was a bit Steve Jobs, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, exactly. It was such a motivational speech about, like overcoming his captors, as a child and confronting bullies and everything. And so the idea that the writer said he wanted the person to come out of the photograph at the beginning. So I just thought, well, what we'll try to do is put him into the photograph at the end. And so that's actually Trevor's own son, as you said, Ewan Jones and everything, and they're both actors, and they both, do stuff. So I was like, oh, well, wait a minute, hold on now. If you got a son, then this would be a really good, inspiring story, like for a son to kind of reflect on, his father's childhood and memories and confronting bullies. So hopefully Steve will actually like that approach, that we took and everything. And then also too is that we understand that there was some sound clippage in there, which happens when you're doing things on Zoom and everything like that. So pardon that, but I still think that Trevor did an amazing job, especially since
Yeah.
like he only had a short time window and such a consummate professional
Yeah.
to
We sometimes get actors that drop out for all sorts of reasons. And when we get, when we ask somebody to come in at the last minute and pull it out of the hat in such a short amount of time, it's amazing. Some of the actors we get, are just fantastic. So this was Trevor's first go with us, and I'm really impressed with him. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. No, definitely, and everything like that. So like, to end that trifecta of the evening, where are we at number 3 there, Sharon?
Yeah, so number 3, again, it's somebody who hasn't written for the compendium before. It's a newbie night tonight.
Newbie night.
This is Lisa Worth, who's normally a singer, but she's also an actress and she also writes a bit. So it's nice to have one of her pieces. And we wanted an actor that could sing, and we thought about using her, but she was a bit sort of, I don't know whether I should do both. So we went for Frances Boldy Aldridge, which she can play anything. So now, and she can also sing beautifully.
Yeah, and also too is that so this is like called Autumn in New York, and and knowing that Frances was going to tackle this, I was like, do you think you could do this outside? Again, asking for an actor to act and to memorize the lines. It's not like you got your iPad or anything. And so she did, and so she did this outside, amongst the autumn, and everything, and she kind of like dressed up a little bit like the lady in Dr. Zhivago. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. So let's give it up to Frances as we listen and watch Autumn in New York by Lisa Worth.
Autumn in New York. What does it feel so inviting? His favourite songs. He used to ask me to sing them to him. He said that after Ella Fitzgerald, I was his all-time singer. I still wonder if that's true. Funny thing was that he never really got autumn. The yellows, the mustards, the ochres, the bling in the trees and shrubs. It's as though someone crept out at midnight and said, "Oh, green's okay, but have some of this." Crunchy walks through the forests on potpourri. Pot or po? Oh, I never can remember. And those hard, glossy conkers. Nature's stress balls. No. Nature's stress balls. You can't help roll them round your hands, can you? Oh dear. And the air. Even that has a different smell to it. It's almost like Mother Nature checks her diary, and come August the 31st, which could be like a scorching hot t-shirt day, and she knows the seasons has to change. So she sends someone out with a giant can of Glade autumn air. Cool, fresh, crisps. And just that little bit earthy. Don't get me wrong, I live for the bleached out beachy days of summer when you can walk around with, well, nearly almost naked. As decent as it can be, considering your bodily bits have gone south for the winter. Oh dear. We used to live in the Welsh valleys, Everyone had wood burners or open fires, and the smoke used to curl and twirl into the air and hang there, leaving that smell that made you feel safe. He didn't get it. You know, all he saw was decay, not the cute workaholic squirrel. No, he saw rotting acorns. And the leaves, the falling leaves, were just extra work cleaning out the gutters. Cooler climes were always a prelude to electricity bills more than the debt of a developing country. I don't know. Come to think of it now, every time he looked at me, he probably saw decay. Based on the fact that he ran off with a 24-year-old. I saw something in some glossy magazines, you know, saying that autumn was the best time to end a relationship. Leaves you free for Christmas. Obviously not written by someone who was kicked to the curb. Thinking back though, my first Christmas was storming, or what I can remember of it. No close neighbours coming in and putting on your Christmas penguin knickers. And a booze-filled panata for entertainment. Fuck counselling. Anyway, I should have known, you know, when he stopped showering before coming to bed. And there was that overwhelming stench of sweaty arse. That should have been a sign, shouldn't it? None so blind that cannot see. But now I have you. It's going to be an amazing autumn, this. And I know that I'm going to see more than I ever saw. No hurry either. I can take all the time I want. You excite me. You make me feel like I'm the first one to ever set eyes on that exquisite wind-bent tree, or the majestic stag that ventures out just a little too close to the road to get some food. When we stare at the landscape, the raw umber, the ploughed fields ready for the seed for next year's bread baskets. You never diminish my emotion, you know. You never make me feel a fool for being so involved, so passionate. And it doesn't matter whether it's cold, it's raining, we'll just kick through the leaves like kids. And we'll revel in those reds and golds, instead of focusing on the mashed up, muddy browns. Do you know, this will be our autumn, our own private show of autumn. Nature, time for reflecting, for renewal. Oh, he always was a scruffy git. The autumn leaves blow by.
Oh, the wonderful
right.
Frances Baldioridge. She's just fantastic.
I told you she was like that lady in Dr. Zhivago. What was that actress's name with you know, and everything like that? I think she was married to Charles Bronson and everything.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh well, okay. Old school me. But yeah,
no, I just don't remember names. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah. But no,
you may have noticed.
Well, you listen. Either way, it's not New York, but it still feels like autumn in New York. You know what I mean? I just love it when an actor kind of like puts stuff into it. You know, and everything. Not just to go outside, but to get the that fur hat and coat and stuff like that. I just thought it adds a lot to the piece and
It
everything.
did.
So, so well
The
done.
picture was lovely. So when I was making the advert, that was the last slide, because it really really sort of typified everything we were doing on this one.
Yeah. No, definitely. All right, so like moving swiftly on and everything. We're into the midpoint.
Hold on, Sarah's just said it's Susanna York, the person that you're thinking of.
Susanna York. Thank you. So I mean, tell Francis she looks like Susanna York and everything.
Oh wow, should be chuffed with that.
No, exactly. Well, and you know what? It's funny that came from Sarah McDonald, because this next piece is from Sarah McDonald.
Yeah.
And everything. I think did she write this piece?
Yeah,
oh, Julie Christie. Wait. Ted is right. It is Julie Christie. Susanna York was Superman's mom, and Julie Christie was in Dr. Zhivago.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ted. You guys can fight later. But anyway, so Tawny, tell us about Tawny. Did Sarah write Tawny, or she just performed it?
Sarah Ann wrote Tawny and performed it. And the reason why she wanted to perform it was because it was very raw for her. It's it's about her family members. So and I think you can see how emotional she gets in it. That this is really to the bone when she's doing this. They're acting in this one. It's not acting altogether, because the emotions are there. So it's quite nice. Yeah, it's quite nice to have somebody who can write and perform sometimes.
Write, perform, film it herself. She's like that Waterman guy doing Minder, right?
Yeah. She'd be singing the theme tune.
Work on the theme tune, yeah. Hey, you know what I mean? But so she's a trifecta and everything. So that's interesting that it's the fourth film and everything. Yeah. So we're gonna go right into Tawny by Sarah McDonald. Starring Sarah McDonald, written by Sarah McDonald, directed by Sarah McDonald. Okay, moving on. Let's do it.
There he is. That's Tawny. Matthew, you should come out, Tawny's back. Heard him yesterday. There he is again. What a bird. I saw him fleetingly yesterday. Just looked at me with these huge saucer eyes, as if to say, human? Such magnificent birds, and Matthew loves them normally. I thought it would help, you see, with everything. He's not spoken to me since the funeral. Well, not really. And he loved his granddad so much. Oh well. Matthew, do you remember me telling you about when my granddad died? It's a lovely story. It was the afternoon after the service, and we were in one room and Grandma was in another, and there was this gasp that came from the kitchen, and we all ran in, and it was a robin sat just outside the kitchen window. And Grandma said, well, that it was Grandad, and she had this feeling, well, unshakable belief really, that it was him, and he'd come to say that everything was all right where he was. Then when we got home, your granny, she did the same. Any robin that came to the garden, whatever time of day, was Grandad. It must have been bionic to get from up north to ours in one day. But that kind of tradition, I suppose, of
it's a lovely way of honouring someone you love, and it brings comfort, and it's something I need right now. You see, I need something physical, something real to hang on to. I'm probably talking nonsense, but what if Tawny was your granddad, Matthew? He certainly had his gravitas. Although Al's are supposedly wise, and Grandad was more clever, wasn't he? I don't know, though. Maybe a goldfinch is the right bird for him. He used to love sitting in here watching the bird table and see those flamboyant little things buzzing around, always busy, never still. Just like him. I don't know, though. I mean, they're such nervous birds, aren't they? He wouldn't have been frightened off by other birds. But he wouldn't be a bully either. I wonder what bird he would like to have been. Probably a golden eagle. Lord of all he surveyed. Top of the food chain. I just can't cope with the fact that he's gone. He's not here anymore. The more I think about it, though, this bird reincarnation, I think it's about being somewhere special with people who are special to you. And he loved coming here. He loved this garden. And he loved you, Matthew. Tawny? Hello, Tawny. Hello, Dad.
Wow.
Man, what's up with the tearjerkers tonight? You know what I mean? I mean, so did the writers say, hey, look, you want us to write these autumn stories, and so everybody set out to, you know, try to make us cry and everything. Now, Sarah, I know you're in the chat, so I'm going to just say, well done. And you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know why you're in here because my voice is not that good. Where it's like, it's not about your voice, it's about your tears, woman. It's about the emotion, woman.
And she was talking about singing the theme tune. She said she couldn't sing it.
Oh, was that okay? Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was that, but then this is this, and either way you look at it is well done. Well done for Sam O'Donnell for taking that on board. And look at that, Matt Shield just showed up, but like, hey Matt, I told you. You know what I mean? Yours was first, bruh. That don't mean leave now. You know, go back and watch it. And if anybody wants to give comments to Matt Shields in the chat, he wrote Autumn with Wayne's to with Cole, so that way he can at least feed off of that. So yes,
Bonfire of the Vanity.
Bonfire of the Vanity. Now I remember the movie Bonfire of the Vanities, and everything. You know, great old movie. But this is written by another new writer, Tasman Pinder.
Yeah, Tasman Pinder.
So tell us about Tasman.
Well, she's actually on Make It Right, but I've never met her. She's never come to the drop in. So it just goes to show that. No. Well, it just goes to show that we're very accepting of anybody who wants to try and get something up on its feet. It's what Make It Right's all about.
Well, that's how Matt got in.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I opened it up this time just because it's nice to get some new voices. And I've the Christmas compendium that'll be coming up next. Submissions are open now if people want to send their monologues and duologues to me. So
yeah. I mean, so please do. I mean, the Christmas compendium obviously will be in early December and everything else like that, because people usually go away. And hopefully now with this new news of change in the autumn, we could probably look forward to Christmas.
Yay!
I was not looking forward to Christmas before today. But hey, what you gonna do? Why is Tasman saying sorry next time? We said that your script is about to come on now. Okay.
Is it coming up now?
Yeah, well, it is about to. Yeah. So Bonfire to Vanity also has another new actress, and everything that we brought in.
She's one of your ladies, isn't she?
Yeah. One of our music artists involved with Big Hondo Records, and who has a single that is about to drop in December and everything, called Run. Her name is Emily Caliker and everything, and fantastic artist, and she's actually did some auditions and reading for us, so you were impressed as well.
Yeah.
So I just thought that, hey, wait a minute, this character felt like it needed a young voice and everything. So again, new blood. I loving this new blood that we got going on here at the convention. So let's keep it coming.
We could do
that doesn't mean that we don't like the old bloods, though. That don't mean we don't like the old bloods.
I'm saying if we get the Queen, we'll have blue bloods as well.
Okay, leave the jokes to me. Anyway.
No.
Okay, all right. Coming up now is Bonfire to Vanity, starring Emily Caliker, written by Tasman Pender. And here we go.
You were over an hour late. Floods on the roads. I wore my black dress with my cat top ears, my satin gloves, fishnet tights and green Doc Martens. I waited for you, and it was cold. I called your house. Your mum answered. She said, yeah, he's on his way. He's doing his hair. I waited, and I thought, maybe you forgot. The fireworks start at 9, and it was past. You turned up at 10, and it was raining. Your car was tied us back, so you could drive without squashing your mohawk. You're so vain, I said. Hey, this took time, you replied. It's art, and it was raining so hard. You let me choose the music for the car, and I asked, can I do the gears? You looked nervous. You said, yes. I put music on, and then we drove for a while, in the dark. The headlights flashing up in the pools of the road, illuminating the puddles. It was cold. I shivered, and you noticed. You turned the heating up, but you were so nervous that you turned it right the way up. We turned off the road, and there was a field, and you stopped the car. I asked you, was it supposed to be here? Because nobody's here, nobody but us. It has gone 10, o'clock now. It was supposed to be raining. Yeah, the bonfire was supposed to be here. Do we even have any alcohol? No? This is awful. Well, there was this old man at the side of the road, and he was taking his Jack Russell Terrier for a walk. Rained off, he said. No bonfire, no fireworks tonight. Oh, I guess we should probably, we'll have to go back. It was raining. We sat in a car. Let's drive. Where? You drove me in the dark with no traffic on the road, and I asked if I could do the gear shift. You let me, and I put my hand on your leg. I brushed my hand against your leg and squeezed your thigh. You moved my hand away. You put your hand on top of mine, and I had to concentrate, you said. The roads, the sharps are really, really, really hard. I tried. I said, pull over. You stopped the car at the side of the road and the rain on the roof. I said, you know, I really... You said, I liked your top cat ears. It looks like my best friend's a cat. He said, ha, yes, meow. You stroked my hair and leaned in towards me. You put your arm around my waist. And you kissed me. You kissed me.
Oh, she's so sweet, isn't she?
You know, I just like that she, you know, and it's real, right? I like that little tither in her voice, you know, and the way she pauses and breathes. You know what I mean? It's just like I just thought like you don't act that, you be that, you know, and that's what that I mean, so hopefully people give her like some praise in the chat, you know, because she was also a bit nervous and everything doing it.
Aww.
And you know, and she's a fantastic singer.
I kept walking in on you when you were doing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, and oh, thanks, Tasman. Yeah. But yeah, so she was fantastic. You know, coming into the final trifecta of the night, because like usually like when we're doing like 10, we only have 8 tonight, and everything, and you know, so with this one is that is another, well, let's call him an oldie but a goodie, right?
Yeah.
And I mean like our man Luke Morgan, who like he's always very good at comedy. And you know, so we tried to experiment with him and giving him different types of monologues, don't we? You know, and so last time, like he had this kind of like Magnolia style monologue where he had to cry and everything else like that. And like, so this one I thought was really interesting because, you know, when it came to playing a serial killer, Luke Morgan was the man I thought about. Right? So this story, I'm no different, you know, by one of yours.
Sean Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald and everything. And I just thought that this would be kind of like interesting, you know. And then I didn't know that Luke was gonna come full on beard.
Yeah.
He didn't do it for the part. He did it for.
He's got many looks as well, Luke. You never know what you're gonna get.
Hey, yeah, it's not baby face Luke. So you know, if you're used to seeing Luke Morgan and everything,
it's evil killer Luke.
Well, let's see how evil is. Let's see how much he scares you. Okay, so here's I'm No Different with Luke Morgan by Sean Fitzgerald.
They always scream. It's so annoying. I just want to get the job done with minimal fuss. Do you think it's easy for me, huh? All the preparation I have to do. Like having to work out how to dispose the body. Shall I chop it up into bits, or flush the pieces down the toilet? Or wrap it up in a carpet and dump it in the lake? You try and carry a 12-stone dead weight across wet sand. Get my feet wet and muddy. I must have ruined countless boots. Then I have to spend ages in the shower washing away the blood with a hard brittle brush. Pain! You try and scrape yourself raw with one of those things. Have you tried one of those steel knit combs? Try and claw out those annoying bits of fractured bone and clotted muscle from your hair. Oh, indeed, it can be a bloody mess dismembering a body. But I wasn't trained for any of this, you know. You think that we can all cut and fray a body like a cordon bleu chef? I'm still learning on the job. Though, I admit I'm getting better at the old carving technique, especially now that I bought that lovely chainsaw from Aldi at the competitive price of $19.99. Really tears into the ligaments without any fuss. Thoroughly recommend it. After that I have to sort out my tools. Which knife needs sharpening? Did that rope match its job description? Could I improve my strangulation technique? Should I sign up for those self-defense courses? I don't learn about the new martial arts moves. Some of my victims, hell, they can really put those cage fighters to shame. What I'm saying is, after your job, no matter how it goes, to always sit down, take a glass of wine, or whatever your fancy is, to reflect and make notes for future reference. Do your research, learn from the masters, be more professional. I mean, look at all the way serial killers get caught, by the most stupid of mistakes. Take the Yorkshire Ripper, for example. Pulled up by the police for a false car number plate. Always check your car. Never go over the speed limit, make sure you've paid your road tax and have your MOT up to date. You don't want to be pulled up by the police with your tool bag and body parts in the car boot now, do you? That Dennis Nielsen. Incredible. Can you believe that idiot? He called in a plumber to investigate a blockage in his very own drainage system. The same drainage system he stuffed all those dead bodies down. What was he thinking? If I'm going to be caught, it'll be because I left behind a decapitated head in a Tesco shopping bag on the bus. With a gas bill letter. And that's not going to happen now, is it? They say the first cut cuts the deepest. I remember my first murder. When I killed him, I lay next to his dead body with loathing. At the time, I really detested myself. I was on the verge of suicide. For weeks afterwards, furies attacked me with nightmares and hallucinations. I struggled violently with my conscience that I should confess my hideous crime, but without an explanation, those initial feelings of disgust and self-loathing, well, just went. They wore off. I felt nothing except a vague, dull emotion. A void. I knew I'd crossed the boundary. I won't pretend you'd understand why I kill. I could bore you with the details of my dissolute and reckless childhood. What you call evil is, in my eyes, a matter of degree. Sometimes I do feel elements of guilt. That I could have done a particular job better without inflicting unnecessary pain on the victims. Did I really have to torture that young man? Could have simply obeyed my crowbar into his skull, killing him instantly, but it's the silly little things that can turn things. He was annoying me with his cloying, sickly pleas for mercy, telling me he had young children. He was lying. They always do. I so hate it when they try to appeal to my compassion and good nature. It never works. I have been called a serial killer. What a strange description, like a TV show. Talking of which, I am looking forward to watching myself in a TV drama series. I hope I am played by some eminent Shakespeare actor. David Tennant would play me well. I love watching things like that. No doubt, I am sure you'll be reading about me in future biographies. I'd say I'm doing society a favour. Reading the streets of the homeless, prostitutes and drug addicts. I read the papers just like you. The hang them up and lock them away for life brigade. I am no different.
I'm still laughing at that. I just love this guy. Luke Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, so as I said, so Matt, yeah, our previous compendiums are all on the YouTube channel. Also, too, is just to let people know that usually we do the simulcast on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And so Sharon did say that she told people that we were on YouTube as usual, but also usually like people, are not watching it at the same time. And it's something that, we basically we'll go back to YouTube on the next compendium and everything, but we're also on Facebook. So our previous compendiums, as well as we used to, before we were doing the monthly compendiums, we called it the Midnight Thread, didn't we, Sharon? Where we were doing it weekly. Yeah, where we're doing it weekly. So all of that is up on our channel, Big Condo Radio. And like I said, also too, please like and subscribe to Big Condo Radio. We are your community podcast network, and we're in collaboration with Make It Right. We've been working together even before the pandemic lockdown. So I think maybe it's coming up to maybe a year of collaborations.
No, I think we did a few before that. We had some plays that we actually came into.
Yeah, we did the murder at midnight. I'm sorry, Sharon, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Murder at midnight.
Murder, yeah. I love the. You know what I mean? You got to go back to that. But
No.
Yeah. All right, Sharon. All right. Anyway.
Chase, will this eventually be on YouTube, or is it stuck at?
Yeah. This will go onto YouTube.
Good.
Blake, this will go on YouTube, right? Anyway, yeah,
you can do.
You know what, Sharon? Just tell him. So for all of you don't know that there is a mysterious voice in the air, that controls the stream for us and everything like that. Then that's the fantastic Blake Emery. We couldn't do the compendiums without him. He's our young director that's been doing these shows for us. So he's in the Wirral, I'm in Liverpool, and Sharon's in Chester, whatever.
Yeah.
Look at that. We're not in the same place, but we're in the same room. Okay, so all right. So here we go. So we're going to go for a bit of comedy. So that means we have to turn again to another good old friend who's always, delivering for us every month, and that is Bernie Winston. And hopefully Bernie will like this because last time Bernie delivered a dual log, with these like husband and wife characters, and this back and forth kind of thing that they had, which I thought was really kind of like interesting. It'd be great if we actually shot it as a film, but this is how we had to do. But this time, we brought two other characters, and to me, it felt like it was the same two characters. So we went back to the same two actors. So we went back to Sean Gibbons and Jade Sarah Cunningham to play another couple, but this time they got kids. And it's Halloween, so they are in a pumpkin patch. I think that these two did great. They're kind of like Burns and Allen to me. And if you don't know who Burns and Allen is, that means you're not old as me.
I know.
Oh, you know who Burns and Allen is? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just about.
Just about. Anyway, so here's our Burns and Allen, which is Gibbons and Cunningham. Bernie Winston, adventure in a pumpkin patch and everything. And it's not only dual log for the night. So
it's called Smashing Pumpkins, yeah.
Oh, I love that group. Anyway, let's go.
Look at it. It's just a pile of mud.
Oh, it's a farmer's field, and it's been raining all week. Of course it's muddy. I told you to put your wellies on.
Listen, Mel, when you work in sales, your appearance means everything.
Is that why you're ironing your jeans then?
Yeah. If I bump into a client, I need to look good.
I don't think putting creases in your jeans is going to impress too many people, Tim. And white trainers. Why did you wear white trainers?
Well, I wasn't expecting this, was I? You need to sort their drainage out. Some farm this is.
Look at the size of their pumpkins. They must be doing something right.
Charlie, get out of that puddle now.
Leave him. Oh, he's got his play clothes on. And he's got his wellies on.
Okay, don't rub it in.
Charlie, put that down. Do you hear me? Do not throw that at Charlotte. No, don't. I'll count to 3. 1, 2. Charlie. Have you got a tissue, Tim?
No, I've got a handkerchief.
I'll do.
But it's monogrammed and...
Right, look, just pass it here. Look, I'll pop it in the hot wash when I get in. Oh, don't cry, Charlotte. Come on, we'll get you cleaned up. There you go. Good girl.
Ah, the queue's moving at last. Come on, Charlie. Let's go pick up. Charlie, you need to stay with us, mate. You can't run off. I'm sure he's deaf. We need to get his earring checked out. Reminds me of my mum's old dog.
What?
You know, Snowy. You remember him?
Oh, how could I forget him? Oh, he used to stink the place out.
Yeah, he had trouble with his bowels. He was company for me mum.
Bad company. Why the hell does Charlie remind you of that mangy mutt?
Well, he was deaf, wasn't he? Stone deaf. She had to use hand signals just to train him.
Think of a few I would have used.
Yeah, I don't know what you... Oh, Rick! Yeah, it's fancy seeing you here. I'm just saying to my wife here, I think I'm getting, arthritis in my finger. Grace here, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Should have worn me wellies right. Oh, what? Oh, me jeans. Oh, bloody missus ironed them. Gave her loads of stick. Creases. I don't know what you were thinking, love. Okay, I'll be in touch. Have a good day.
What the hell was that?
What?
That's A, don't ever call me love. B, never introduce me as your wife or the bloody missus. I have a name, you know. I say, go and fuck yourself, you patronising prick.
Sorry, love. Sorry, Mel. That was Rick.
Yeah, so it happens.
He owns Plumbers R Us. They're our biggest clients.
Oh, so is that why you totally belittled me and practically disappeared up his arse?
I had to be nice to him, didn't I?
Oh, shut up. Grab one of those wheelbarrows.
Christ, how many pumpkins are we getting? Where's Charlie now?
It's over there. Oh, look, it looks like he's made a new friend. Charlie, don't do that. Charlie, let him go. Now.
God, go sort it out, Mel.
Why me?
He doesn't listen to me, does he?
He doesn't listen to me either.
I'm telling you, hand signals. We need.
Sod off, Tim. Keep an eye on Charlotte.
Charlotte's fine.
Charlie, what have we told you? We play nice or we don't play at all. I'm so sorry. He just gets so excited. Is your son okay?
Sorry, mate. I think he might be deaf.
Oh, no, we don't.
Yeah, we're going to get him checked out for tests.
No, we're not.
We've got to do something, haven't we, Mel? It's a bloody embarrassment. I mean, we can't go anywhere or do anything without him causing havoc.
Oh, he's not that bad.
He is, Mel. He's a bloody nightmare.
Don't say that. He's just high spirited, that's all.
It's more than just high spirits. He's not right.
How can you say that about your own son?
Look at us, Mel. Look at us. We never used to fight. We never had to disagree about anything. But now, all we seem to do is argue.
Well, having children puts a strain on a relationship, doesn't it?
There's much strain. And have you noticed how people keep avoiding us?
Oh, they don't, not really.
They do, Mel. They do. When was the last time we got invited to anywhere?
Well, Maggie invited us over to that barbecue, didn't she?
Yeah. And I don't think we'll be ever getting asked back. Not after Charlie danced all over her flower beds. Even your mum stopped calling us.
Oh, well, she's not been feeling well, has she?
So she says.
Tim?
Well, she's okay with Charlotte, but she really seems to look down her nose at Charlie.
Can't say I've noticed. Oh, probably because I spend too much time chasing rounds after him.
Right, so your missy's got issues then?
I admit he's hard work, yes. But issues, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, shit. Charlie, get down off that haystack now.
He's going to jump.
Charlie, don't. Charlie.
Do not jump into that puddle.
Puddle? More like a bloody lake. Charlie, no.
Go on, fish him out, Tim.
What, in these trainers? You're the one wearing wellies.
Christ. Right, well, keep an eye on Charlotte then.
Charlotte's fine.
Charlie, stop splashing. No, we don't play in puddles. Come on. Let's go and have some ice pumpkin, shall we? Oh, Christ. Do you know what? I'm soaked. Tim, don't encourage him.
He couldn't give a flying fig about the pumpkins, Mel. That makes two of us. Charlotte, what do you think? Is that one okay? Yeah? Cool, right. That's sorted. Shall we get home? Someone needs an early bath, don't they, Charlie?
Okay. Tim?
Yeah?
Tim? Do you really think he needs tests?
Can't do him any harm, can he?
But maybe he'll grow out of it.
Maybe. Come here, soldier.
Oh, careful. Oh, you'll get mud on your coat.
Doesn't matter. Something to wash, eh?
Oh, look, he's hugging you. Oh, isn't that nice?
He may be hugging me, but he's got a huge clump of my hair. Ow.
Charlie.
I'll leave him be. It's nothing I can't handle. At least he's quiet.
He's turned himself out. Oh, he'll probably have a little nap in the car.
Live in hope.
Be mean, Tim.
You know, my mum used to say I was a live wire when I was little. Maybe I was like this. Maybe he'll grow up to be just like me.
God, that's all we need.
Hey.
Tim?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about having more kids?
What? No. I definitely do not want to put another chestnut in that oven, thank you very much. Why'd you ask? Mel? Mel?
The poor bugger.
Oh my God, man! First of all, like Bernie has experienced life because if you're married, you understand that conversation. But but no, that was fantastic, man. Another well done job by those two. So I mean, yeah, Bernie. I mean, I mean, even if they weren't the same couple from Match of the Day, I think you got a winner here, man, because I'm loving those guys. So well done. Charlotte's fine. I just
Yeah, Charlotte's fine.
hey, leave me alone. Charlotte's fine. You know, oh man, it's fantastic. So anyway, you know, like we're coming down to the end, and like Irene Stewart, I know, has been with us from the beginning here, and probably wondered where's mine, and everything like that. Well, you know, we had to save something good for the end, and but just wanted to just say is that we love doing these compendiums, yeah, and now that Sharon has moved in, uh,
Yeah, I moved in with Chase.
oh God, man, terrible. We just want to keep doing. We just want to keep doing these things, So as she said, for the Christmas compendium, please start making your submissions early and everything, and hope you're enjoying what we're doing here. We're all just trying to be creative in the time span that we're in, and everything in these times and stuff. So definitely appreciate that and everything. And we also definitely appreciate the due diligence of the actors, as well as of the writers, So it's been really good. And as we continue to take on more, it's just fantastic. Anything you want to say about that, Sharon? I know it's not over. I just thought I would just say it.
No, I mean we've got something else to look forward to, haven't we, in the Christmas compendium, because the film is finally ready. Clown Delivery will be ready by the Christmas compendium, and it's going to be fabulous.
We've been holding back because like Mandy Lally has just been one of the fantastic gems when we first started doing these, and she's been working really hard on this film that she's been making, a Ted Gray film. So that's why we actually didn't have a Ted Gray appearance in the compendium this month and everything, But yeah, so hopefully, Clown Delivery. Yeah. So if you've been on Facebook and you've seen the pictures, I'm definitely excited to see that.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right. So Alex Lacey. So Alex Lacey is another gem of an actress that came to us midway as we started doing these compendiums, and we also managed to catch her after going out into the north of Hollywood, working on an actual proper film out there.
Yeah,
she just did this horror film, came back, and then was open to appearing into this. So this is a dark tale by Irene Stewart and everything, starring Alex Lacey, and it's called Autumn Leaves.
Ooh.
And everything. So like,
yeah,
let's go.
Scary.
No, it's not that scary.
Leaves are individuals, They're just like people. Have you ever watched as they fall from a tree? It's fascinating. Some follow others like lemmings as they jump into the unknown. Some preen and check their stature as if they're about to take a selfie. Some dive as if they're jumping off the top of a diving board doing a Tom Daly, twisting and turning, trying to gain that perfect 10. Others just cling onto the branch for dear life, scared of what lies beneath them. Just like us humans, teetering on to the springboard of life. There's Mr. Green, the gardener. He waves. I wave back. Oh, how I laughed when he first came to work for us. Mr. Green. He's lovely. He's one of a kind. It still tickles me now. How long ago was it? Let me see. Oh my goodness, 9 years. When I first met him, he asked me to call him by his Christian name, Simon, but I was always taught to respect my elders, so he was always Mr. Green to me. I remember when I first met Mr. Green, and I asked him whether he had a daughter named Teresa, and he laughed, but he was just being polite. I'm sure he heard that joke over 100 times. I hate the autumn. Mr. Green knows that it gives me the heebie-jeebies, so he doesn't beckon to me to come and help him sweep the leaves in autumn. I help him any other time of the year, but not in autumn. Watching the leaves and Mr. Green is making me feel a bit sick. I wish I could just sweep away these thoughts like Mr. Green sweeps away those leaves. It's autumn, you see, and this is what it does to me. It brings back memories. I wish I could just hibernate throughout the autumn and wait till the coldness of winter arrives. Dad left when I was born, so I never really knew him. Mum never talked about him much. It was always just me and Mum against the world. We used to live in a flat, but she used to take me to the park every day and every day after school. That's when I became fascinated by the leaves. I used to hold them and watch the veins thread around like the veins in a hand. I loved the autumn colours of the greens and the browns when autumn came. I loved the crunchiness under my foot as I danced in the late sun. It was exhilarating. But I always felt a little apprehensive, as if I was dancing on somebody's grave. Poor Mr. Green. He's having such a hard time trying to sweep up those leaves. They're falling so fast and so thick. He's not really up to the job now. He was retired when he came to work for us. Everything changed between my mum and me when she met Barry. I was 10 years old and I was so used to having Mum all to myself, you know. I've got to admit, I did try to get rid of him and I wasn't very welcoming, but in hindsight, he loved Mum and I think he loved me too. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Barry did a lot for me and Mum. He bought us a lovely house with a garden. And he gave me a patch of the space to plant whatever I wanted on it, just a little off from the oak tree. He even built me a tree house. I spent so many happy hours up in that tree house, watching the leaves and the hedges and the grass changing colour. I watched as the birds feathered their nests and welcomed the odd interloper, the squirrels that came to visit. That treehouse was my refuge from an ever-changing world. Despite all that Barry did for us, I just couldn't forgive him for taking Mum away from me. I resented their love for each other. One day they called me out of my haven into the kitchen and Barry was smiling from ear to ear and Mum looked a bit sheepish and he said, "You tell her." She said, "No, you tell her." I said, "Tell me what?" "You're going to have a baby brother or sister," he said proudly. I stood there aghast and I ran to my refuge. A baby! I vowed there and then to hate it. I watched as Mum's belly extended. Joshua was born in the October and I was 14 in the November. The oak tree was just beginning to shed its leaves and they looked as if their lives were dependent on it. I loved my little brother more than anything in the world. He was so tiny and so small and so gorgeous, and he loved me too. He did. Everybody said it. He loved me. He smiled at me and I knew it wasn't the wind. I just knew it wasn't. It was a Thursday and Joshua was 6 days old. Mum and Barry wanted to do a little bit of shopping, so they asked me to watch him. Joshua had a bit of a wheezy chest and they didn't want to take him outdoors. Mum fed Joshua. She changed him and she bathed him and he looked so peaceful when she left. I went into the kitchen to do my homework, but I kept checking on him. I did. And he looked so content. I heard Mum and Barry come home and Barry came into the kitchen and I was slumped over my homework books. That's when I heard Mother let out this piercing scream and I can't forget it no matter how hard I try and forget it, I just can't. Barry grabbed me and he said, "Where's the baby?" The police came and I was questioned again and again and again. Mum said the front door had been ajar when she got home, but I didn't notice. And I kept checking on Joshua. I didn't notice it. Mum was hysterical. The police surmised that someone entered the house while I was doing my homework and took baby Joshua. It was all over the news. You might have seen it. Mum and Barry did all of those television appeals. Mum looked so sheepish. She was as pale as a ghost and she blamed herself for not shutting the door properly. It was day 4. Joshua's little body was found beneath the leaves by the oak tree. Doctors argued as to whether he died of hypothermia or sudden infant death syndrome. I suddenly became the chief suspect. Despite my denials and how much I protested that I loved him, I loved him. The paper seized on the story. I became a public hate figure. I was portrayed akin as a child killer, Mary Bell. Everybody hated me and nobody would listen to me. Nobody. I had a breakdown. The prosecution team said that I had mental health issues and that I hated Joshua with a vengeance and I was jealous of Barry's love for my mother. The defense argued that I wasn't in my right mind when I committed the act. I was found guilty of the murder of my baby brother, Joshua. Mr. Green? Mr. Green, stop raking the leaves now, Mr. Green. Mr. Green, you'll hurt the baby. Mr. Green, you're gonna hurt Joshua, Mr. Green! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Get away from me!
Well,
Now,
fantastically directed, acted, and written.
that's how you end the show, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Fantastic job, Irene Stewart. Fantastic job, Sophia Lacey. You know, even though, you know, we dropped her real name in there, Alex. But no,
Yeah.
listen, I mean, that was just like a phenomenal piece. They all are and everything. And I mean, you know, once again, we just want to just thank you guys for joining in. You can always rewatch. So that means you, Matt, you can, like, yours was the first one that we started with tonight. And but also too is it really helps us when you share it, you know. So like you know, please like and subscribe. It's on Facebook. You know, we've been on, you know, YouTube for the past, you know, couple of months and stuff. But so I want to see those numbers go up because this is really a good showcase. It's a showcase for all of us, really. You know, so I mean, it's not just like what film you were in or what film you wrote or whatever. I mean, everybody I think did a great job. Any thoughts you would like to share there, Sharon?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've really come together as a writing, acting, and filming community over the lockdown, and it's been nice seeing how close we've all got, you know, and all the new people that have started coming because there's there's not a lot out there at the moment, so it's nice to feel like you belong to a little community, you know, and Make It Right and Big Condo Radio. We that's how we want the field to be, that we're a community or a family even, you know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, an extended family as well. I mean, so, I mean, we love it when new people come in. So we would like to acknowledge all the new writers and actors that participated in this particular monthly compendium. And we're hoping that when you tell your friends and they tell their friends that the other actors come join us for the next one. You know, because that's what it's all about, you know. So anyway, so we're ending early tonight. Usually we go to 10 o'clock, and that's only why did two other films take us to 10? I don't know, you know. But it's been great. The Autumn Compendium. So the next compendium will be the Christmas Compendium. The submissions start now, so you can always find Sharon to Make It Right because they have like about 100 pages on Facebook.
Not quite.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, like I said, please like and subscribe, but mainly share. And we're endeavoring to make Blake put this on to YouTube. You know, so like when it's on YouTube, you will get a notice on my page or the kind of page or whatever. You'll get a notice
Everybody's
that the link,
page.
well, the link will be out, so you can share that as well. So anyway, time to go because Sharon's drunk and or not drunk enough. Okay, I haven't eaten, but I got some political TV to watch. I keep my politics to myself. Please don't tell me if there was any talking speeches going on. But I mean, I'll be up all night. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us here in the compendium. I'd like to thank Sharon Copeman.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Chase.
Thank you. And then we both would like to thank Blake Emery.
I'm a bit stupid like that.
Whatever, Chad. But mainly, we like to thank you. All right.
Thanks,
so
everybody.
We'll close the curtains. Thank you guys and have a good weekend. Peace out.
Bye.